Thanks for coming, and thanks for having us, Schaefer, Brendan, Lungful editors.
Thank you.
Thank you. Read these two short poems that were in the last issue of Lungful. Take the over. The bird of Paravision was right, considering can't even hold this flower, can't take a walk in the woods, thin out, ordinary, true. The reverse side of a full circle come to dimly, but there nonetheless. In light of Mexican jail footage, think carefully, basement peyote. See gold narrative reaching the finals, all signs point to complete change, not long, complicated history, clapping for certain good days. No later than health fail, mostly felt by the older folks, living near the Crystal Andy Rooney, totally insane. February diversion of inner fist fight, nothing of the principle. And so much for hugging the shore, negative reason for the tone deaf, and no poems for the prelude, oh moon, and when to stop from writing it down. The raccoon war from the Forest Hills long form. I believe tonight is Andy Rooney's last night. He's saying goodbye. He's like 100 years old.
You ever notice?
Yeah, I know! That thing that annoys me.
The one comment on MP when they announced it from the audience was like 20 years too late. Which is kind of harsh.
That's sad.
It is.
Sure, I'm sure he's a nice guy. Basic trouble. Different facts, deep north, naturals, heading out to the minus world for ice flowers, hand-eye encryption, more realistic, non-enemy with love, in lieu of liberation from suffering. False discovery, technical problems, convincing sacrificial complications assigned to weather and others, a dull ache converted into its own reward. To keep moving, making the rounds in relative freedom. Damaged luxury of old custom, Medal of Honor guy who was in it for the free t-shirt. Radio call-in not blending with regular daylight outside. The mirror reversal is well-timed, leading to a tile pattern, greetings from a future collapse. Difficulties holding down a sign, try to relax, imitate life, make the train, fare thee well. I'm going to read from this longer piece that I've been working on. It's not done yet, and I'm just going to read basically as far as it's gotten. It's called The Dial. Half-light connects the field further and further out until day. Today is not the day we've been waiting for years. Today is reality. Should have an answer on your erasable memory by the time you're in Palmyra. Interdimensionality vast as space, and Canadian anti-gravity has no money. Consciousness tracked by other worlds with regular actions being taken in mind. Time and space are functions of consciousness when just the right words arrive. Gas station, Green Mountain, dark magic, no limit, take over in autumn. Save the last human family. Deal with corporate entities on your behalf. We'll take a while here at the 33rd wave to say just exactly what's happened. They are, have been, and will be phasing out the stranger distraction. Thinking maybe follow these power lines, reaching through the static, decide not to turn to witchcraft yet. Converted to a disco, the house odds. The same vandals that painted our baby elephant gold, trashing boats. Vacantly trace back to turn the radio on late, turns in the same landscape. Economics arrived drunk from the last offensive, all fuck the system. Out on the fairways with an attitude toward military school runaways, former elf. The boo birds are waiting at home. The president of the world breaks agreement. Dedicated readers find plot, leads them back to reality. Take that no future to the bank, navigate the early morning thanks, wildlife in the same place a while, seeding the cool harmonic field with high signs, traffic to fade in. Starting another slow wander through reason's small victories, good works arriving via spiritual weirdos. Disorganized in order that fields roll, permanent relevance and perfect directions to the hotel. One note, see here. Some chance of being lost on the scale, lighter than the air it's rising through now, deeper into movies, not another ride through the desert. Soldier's heart goes back for the sound, racking regional thoughts for some place to wait. Apocalyptic late May arrives, leaves no message up close except to stay down. Try sleep to calm thought, repeat driving in sleep to counter thought, to try sleep, thought of a way out, thought of you. Thought of a foreground of green and pink grass facing the damage of a total collapse, working on the great snow lions, the night watch, the Polish rider, reflection, opinion, comparison, turned ash, played everywhere. Defense has the ball. Sub-thought rolls in, breaking old frail alternate realm. Hands down. Reliving sudden moves from the perspective of a failed border town, all branched out, taking on air in a way where one might look up the line later, dangerous, rare, and rising to a point at which for the truth stops its tracks. Imagines new form for chance walking past the park, not dependent on the old one. Giving the order to let it go. Turn your attention to the leaves, little or no shade, dead in the audience another way, complete forgetting. Other involvements gone. Prescription for fun. Particular style of disabling the alarm, talks way through someone else's sense of direction, never to change the station, to begin a new scene. Halfway through the journey of this life, crossing out things to say, whatever comes across doesn't stay very long before being safely complicated. We would be late reaching the failed state's line, sundown not getting it done, around the time when the police start to panic. Shout more nature verse, welcome rain or long-awaited letter, now that each thought is fair game. Trees and winds arrive later. A young samurai leaves Kyoto, abandoning the woman he loves, in order to gain a fortune by marrying the governor's daughter. Years later, he's wealthy, miserable, and destroyed by regret. He returns to Kyoto. The woman he still loves is still there. She forgives him completely. She hasn't changed. But it's a dream. He wakes up in the arms of her skeleton and stumbles through the ruins of his former home, having been transformed into an insane ghoul. In the next movie, there's a snowstorm, then spring. It's fall when, living on air alone, a young samurai is forced to commit harakiri with his own bamboo sword. What could it all mean? Human condition hereby released. On a battlefield, you'd be killed as a sympathizer. Here, yesterday was the longest day of the year, but it didn't seem that way, it just was. Whatever the cause, no further change to the array of all possible effects tolerated now. You can